All right, there we are. Yeah, I knew it was having an issue. I was like, the bar is not moving. Yeah. All right. Welcome to this week's super special episode of Baldman HQ, where we're gonna talk about all things Baldman games, catch you up on the happenings of the last month, what we got to look forward to, and this month we have a very super special guest, the Baldman himself, and we're going to do our annual Heralds Guild update, wherein we're going to make all the announcements about everyone who's being promoted, everyone who's getting awards, and just how generally awesome everyone is. All right. Well, that said, without further ado, let me start this here slideshow. All right, so brief recap for anyone who hasn't been paying attention. Virtual D&D weekends are our monthly event where we get together with all of our old friends, our new friends, our friends we didn't know were our friends yet, and we play the world's greatest role-playing game. I think that's what we're calling it, right? We play D&D with our friends. We hang out, we chat, we drink, we laugh, we have a good time. We don't drink, whatever. And you can find the newest content there. You can find epics. We have special events. We have experience tracks. We have dungeon craft. We have a special non-D&D Adventurers League stuff. We've got all kinds of games. If you want some kind of D&D game, you could probably find something like it there. And we've got varying cost for our intro stuff all the way up to our author-only stuff and super-duper long epics. And you can sign up every month at yawningportal.dnd.wizards.com to buy tickets, and you can always find out more information on the Baldman Games website. So for our February event, because it's February and we just finished it, we grew once again by leaps and bounds, as we've been doing every month since we started this in November. This was the very first time that we did a completely wide open DM call, wherein we just took DMs until our capacity was full, and then we maybe took a few more, because we only thought it was full. And as
Temporary full.
yeah, kind of full, a little full. Just kidding, full again. Just as last month and the month before, tickets were selling super fast starting on day one. Many of our things sold out right at opening. We did continue to add some tables, some tickets get returned. So if you log on March 2nd and you wait until like 2 p.m. and the thing you want is gone, just keep watching it. Have patience. And maybe put it in the Discord chat how much you really, really want to play it. But like just once. Don't spam us. That's annoying. But the main thing is, don't wait to buy your tickets when they go live. And that'll be March 2nd at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And speaking of Eastern Standard, we are aware that daylight savings time happens during our next event. We hope that we're going to make sure everybody knows that. We're going to be annoyed at how much we tell you. All right. Well, without further ado, then, I'm actually going to turn it over to Dave. We're going to do a little recap on Winter Fantasy first, and then we're going to do the Heralds Guild stuff. Dave, take it away.
Awesome. Yeah. So thank you for everybody that participated, at Winter Fantasy this year. It wasn't our first virtual show, but it was our first virtual Winter Fantasy. The show actually went really, 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 really well. There was no big snafus. It wasn't quite the same, but we still got together. We hung out with our friends. It was a bit, happy and sad at the same time. For a lot of us, Winter Fantasy was the last show we got to do in person, before the world went sideways. So it was kind of like, hey, it's been a year, right? And 2020 was a year that I'm still not quite sure is dead. We'll find out.
It's undead. Undead.
It is undead. But it was fun. We had a lot of new players come and experience Winter Fantasy for the first time. A lot, they had so much fun that they all want to come to it for real next year. So we all need to be ready, right? Heralds Guild DMs, be ready. I expect there to be a massive surge of excited new players that have been gaming with all of us online, just chomping at the bit to come meet us all in person. You're right. And what better show to come to and do that than Winter Fantasy, and hang out and just make a bunch of new friends and have some fun. So, it was a lot of fun. I miss doing the Heralds Guild meeting, right? Standing up in front of you and telling a bunch of bad jokes, but we get to do this instead. So
We do, and we did get pictures from Fort Wayne thanks to Troy Sandlin. Was not with us today, but lives in Fort Wayne, so we got a little taste of the slushy roads in Fort Wayne that we didn't have to walk on this year.
yes, yes, it was hopefully much warmer for most people, much more comfortable. Many more people wearing shorts, right? We always recommend shorts when possible. Um, so yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was also weird seeing Winter Fantasy, or seeing Fort Wayne so empty. Right, I'm used to at this time of the year, the streets are full of gamers. People are bouncing back and forth from heading over to King Gyro and getting food and going to Cindy's, and it was just wasn't the same. But we'll be back next year.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we'll all be super excited doing it virtual and in person next year. But for the main event, I'm gonna go ahead and get into that Herald update.
Nice. And so we have lots of updates. I have pieces of paper full of information, right? I mean, the Heralds Guild went through a lot of changes this year, right? Like most things, COVID affected all of us, right? It affected our jobs, it affected our families, it affected our mental well-being of not being able to see the people that we want to see and give them a hug. But thankfully D&D translates to being run online really well. So while a lot of industries, ground to a halt, think about, Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon card tournaments, right? Where they used to pack stores with 100 people, right? That just can't transition online easily. We took what we were doing in person and transitioned online pretty seamlessly, and I give kudos to all of you guys. Some of you never had used Roll20 before last summer. You were like, this is intimidating, right? And so kudos to everybody. When we started running our first virtual shows, I was really expecting to see some of our numbers dip a bit as people got used to Discord servers and rooms, and how do you muster people that you can't see? How do you deal up with walk-ups, right? And you guys did an awesome job. Our numbers actually went up, which I think really, right, is kudos for everybody, right? That are, because everybody saw how hard we were trying and how much fun we were trying to bring to people, and everybody really needed that, right? And so it was really, really great. As a comparison, right, in 2019 we did 4 big shows. In 2020 we did 8, right? We doubled. In 2021 so far, I have 16 shows scheduled for the year that we're going to be doing. Some of them have been announced. Like you can see, the virtual D&D weekend schedule is now out through the end of the year. And there's some shows that we haven't announced yet, right? As we're waiting for those shows to determine, especially this fall, are they going to be in person? Are they going to be online? Are they going to be a combination? But as you guys have seen, there's a lot of opportunities out there right now for us. The Heralds Guild is going through a lot of changes. We've updated a lot of our committees, right? We have some new committees like mentoring and web. We've revamped a few of our committees to be a little more focused. So there's going to be a lot of changes coming over the next 3 or 4 months. Some of those changes may include shirt colors. Some of those may include levels, may include how we rank DMs next to each other, right? We're going to be doing things like certifications, unlocking achievements. There's a lot of changes, and sometimes those changes, change is scary. And I just want to say, as we're changing and reorganizing how we rank, how we recognize, how we certify, don't be afraid that you're going to lose something that you have, right? If we change requirements for something, there's going to be grace periods to allow people to check the boxes that they need to check, right? We're not going to be booting people. We're not going to be saying, hey, you get to go back and be a new person, right? New DM again, right? We're not going to do any of that. But, last year we ran 15,000 people through a game of D&D, which, due to the fact that other than Winter Fantasy last year, none of those were actually people sitting around a physical table. 15,000 is pretty awesome. This year I see it being 3 times that by the time we get to the end of the year. So, keep doing what you're doing, right? As you see the new DMs come in, right? Keep giving them a pat on the back, give them some encouragement, right? Be that mentor as, you know, you see those new red shirts rolling in. So I guess without too much further ado, and though somebody told me to butcher all the names, I'm going to do my best not to butcher all of the names. But as all of us are people that like to read a lot, right? There's those names and words that you read all the time, but you never say them out loud. And when you go to say them out loud for the first time, you're like, you stumble over it, even though you've read it 15,000 times and you know exactly what it means. You've just never actually said it. So forgive me for that. So first, level 4 DMs, right? So to be a level 3 DM, right, you have to do 4 more shows. Well, to get level 4 unlocked, right? Your blue shirt, you want to be a level 4. You want to go from 3 to 4. You have to do 4 more shows. You have to have over 50 feedback forms. You have to be a member in the guild for a year. And you have to have a rating of 19 or higher out of a possible 20. So it's a pretty high bar, right? We want to recognize the best of the best, and then we want to hold them up as examples and have our newer DMs and younger players, you know, sit at their tables, right? What are they doing? You know, what are they doing that I could improve upon, right? We want, you know, these are meant to be, right, the people that we're all looking up to. So this year we actually have 31 DMs who are moving from level 3 to level 4,
which is a lot.
Yes, that is a lot, which is, once again, kudos to all of you guys for the hard work you're doing. So we're just going to go through them in alphabetical order here real quick. And then if you're one of these people that we're throwing out here, right, the next time you end up with a feedback form, right, you should see it say level 4 on your feedback forms that you get. If you don't see it, then that means send Dave an email and I'll go figure out why I forgot to update it. So we have Robert Aducci. We have Zombie Joe, who I know is hanging out here instead of watching his show. Jeremy Arnold, Bill Benham, who was an AL admin and who's now works at WotC. Eric Bohm, B-O-H-M, Baum. Calvin Bridges, David Burkhart, John Christian, Mayot, Andrew Demps, Miss Liza Elizabeth, another AL admin, well, who's moved on to bigger and better things. Andrew Giese, Heath Howbrooks, Emily Harmon, Janine Hempy. I know we do need a scrolling list. I should work on that next time.
We can put the list up on the Discord.
What's that?
We'll put the list on the Discord.
Oh, yeah, we put the list up on Discord. Aaron Jones, Amy Jordan, Jonathan Kennedy Ellis. Hey, look, somebody that's right below me, I think. Matt Lane.
Hey, that's me.
There you are. You're
level 4. All right.
Micah McFall, Chris McGovern, Mike Olson, Adam Pearson, Ben Rabin, Mickey Tan, Thomas Valley, Chris Van Houten, Justine Vandermeer, Thomas Votal, Graham Ward, and Miss Tony Winslow Brill. There is our list in alphabetical order.
Congratulations, everyone.
You're right, and as people are like, I love these names, right? You should love these names, right? These are the people that you're seeing online, answering questions, running awesome tables, right? They deserve every bit of the kudos, right, that they are getting. So big kudos to all of you guys. You are role models. You are awesome. Make sure you keep coming and judging and doing all of the fun stuff. So with that, the next step is level 5, right? Level 5 is, right, not only are you level 4, you're really seen and respected within the community itself. You know, we have some existing level 4s, some existing level 5s like Troy Sandlin, Claire Hoffman. Who else is? You know, I should know these answers better sooner. But, you know, it's the names that everybody should recognize. And if you don't recognize them, right, you should go out and find out why. So we're going to welcome 2 new level 5s, green shirts, as we like to call them. It's the next shirt in the food chain. And those 2 are Mitch Smithson and Krishna Simones. Right? Once again, two names that everybody knows, everybody loves them. If you don't love them, well, that's okay. We'll have a chat. We'll tell you why you should. So we have two new level 5s. And right now, level 5s is as high as you can get. The only higher levels we have are memorial ones. So, of course, that's that. All right. So, last two things. DM of the Year and our Lifetime Achievement Awards. Normally, I would have big, shiny crystal trophies for these. And I will eventually have big, shiny crystal trophies for these. Right. We'll hand them to people at the next show. Maybe next Winter Fantasy, we'll, when we're doing our 2021 awards, we'll hand them out. I wish I would have thought to order them ahead of time so I could at least hold them up and be shiny. But we actually have two DMs of the year, right? 2020 sucked. I came down to two people and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in charge. If I want to pick two people, I'll pick two people, right? It's good to be the king. So we picked two DMs of the year this year. And so our first DM of the year is Laura Thompson, who I'm sure you guys have seen many, living out in Colorado, very active in the community. She's actually on our Heralds Guild community team, right? Coming up with cool things that we can do to, further make us more of a family, right? It's the Heralds Guild meeting, right? But it's the Baldman family reunion at the same time. So, Miss Laura deserves every bit of it. She runs a great table. And the second one is a newer DM who's been kicking butt, is John Christian. So he is our second DM of the year, right? John is one of those that runs the show, and I'm surprised if I don't get a 20 back as his average every time, right? Normally there's like one person that puts a 4. And sometimes I think they're just typo, right? It's just the typo, right? And he ends up at 19.9925 or something really, really weird. So those are our two DMs of the year. So they will be added to our illustrious list of past winners. And eventually we'll get them up on the website, because really we should have them up on the website. I just keep forgetting to put them there.
I'll put it on my list. All right.
There we go. Add it to the list. Because at one point I was like, man, I really need to start writing this stuff down, or I'm going to give the lifetime achievement to somebody I already gave it to, right? So I'm like, I need to record this stuff. So, and so last but definitely not least, is our Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm actually gonna pull this one up so we can mention the ones that we have in the past. Our past winners, originally our inaugural winner was Willie Berger, right? HQ, like everybody knows. We all can't wait, to see Willie again at the next show. Claire Hoffman, Sean Merwin, Greg Marks. As you notice, as we go along, they keep getting shorter, right? So we need to somehow buck that trend as we're moving along. I'm sure I'll have both of the last two throw something at me eventually about that one. So our winner this year, and I'm going to mispronounce his name on purpose, is Eric Mange. No, we won't say Eric, right? It's Eric Mengi, who was trying to dare me to mispronounce everybody's name tonight. And I'm like, well, I'll make sure I mispronounce yours. So Eric is a longtime DM and a longtime friend from all the way back in the Living Greyhawk days, right? When Living Greyhawk kicked off. And Jeff, he's been active in so many communities and writing. He's been our Moonchase story architect since we got the Moonshade Isles and started that whole process. So all of you that are playing, the Moonshades and enjoying the story, right? Thank Eric, right? He is, the amount of time he puts on that campaign is immense. And it shows in the quality of the stuff that he's putting out, right? And he's been doing this for 20 years now. So he is well deserving. And I can't wait to actually hand it to him and give him a hearty handshake and buy him a drink of his choice. So that is our meeting. I don't think I have anything else. Right at this point, everybody would be milling around. They'd be sitting down with their bag of rallies, eating some French fries, But I can say this, right? Next year, we're definitely sitting a chunk of time, and we're going to set aside a bigger chunk of time, for our members meeting next year. And we're really going to take a couple hours, kick all the players out of the room, and we're just going to sit down and have some pizza and have a good time, right? We're going to have fun. Um,
Sorry, I'm laughing that someone hates that John won because he's going to be insufferable.
oh, he might be, right?
It's
And
true.
he gets to be,
It's
right?
true.
He gets like 1d12 plus 4 days of insufferableness, right?
Right,
And once those run out, he has to go back to being the normal,
I rolled an
normal lovable John.
I rolled an 11.
There you go. He has 15 days that he can be insufferable, and then he has to go back to normal. So, but that is it for me. I didn't take as much time as I thought I was going to, so
Yeah.
I get turn it back to you, Miss Jenny.
All right. Well, you can turn it back to me, but I'm actually going to turn it over to Matt Lane, who's been doing a lot of our Learn to Play stuff, and is going to talk a little bit about like that experience and how that's been.
It's been great getting a lot of new players since it's Learn to Play. But yeah, there's been a ton of new players showing up. Really great response there, and they get the confidence to play, and they get hungry for more and more Baldman game stuff, more and more virtual D&D weekends. So that's really nice because I do see them around in my other games too. So it's like, oh, it's working. But no, it's been a really great opportunity to get new players into the game, and they seem to be loved. Yeah, I haven't had too many complaints. They seem to be really taken to it. I mean, D&D is fun and 5e is easy, so why not? But yeah, no, it's trying to think. There's some new and exciting stuff coming to Learn to Play, so it won't just be the season 10 intro anymore. So I could stop doing Mother Tusk voice, which will be nice. But yeah, I'm excited to see what we got coming up, and there should be even more chances for players to learn and make characters and all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, he also didn't talk very long.
I'm sorry. It's really fun, you guys. You should get your anybody you know that's on the fence playing D&D. That's how you get them there. It's just this one thing. And yeah,
it's really short, just a couple hours, right? Just come sit and make me happy, and I won't bug you again. Right?
And for
the first taste is free.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk a second. And for anyone who's like run games for new players, as you know, you get that feedback loop, and it's just very fulfilling because like you get to bask in like all of their joy at like I'm doing the thing. And so Matt's been an excellent person in that role because as anyone who knows Matt knows, he's full of enthusiasm, and sometimes getting him to stop talking is the hard part. So I'm a little surprised, actually. That was my surprise face.
No, I need somebody to work off of. I got to bounce it around. Yeah, it's been really great. But I'll just keep repeating myself. It was awesome, amazing. More, please. Yeah, no, it's great, and I'm really happy about the changes too. So that should be even more opportunities, and I hope you enjoy all those new players I introduce. When you see them in their games, go easy on them.
Always. Yeah, so like as Matt said, anyone who's not been in the loop, we are doing some changes to our Learn to Play program, and there's going to be some formal announcements, but you'll notice that coming up with the March event, some changes on the schedule, and that we're going to be having different content. They're going to be a little longer to really give people a chance to dive in. But it's still going to be a good value for them, and we're hoping to just see the numbers continue to keep track. Matt especially is hoping to continue to see the numbers keep track because if Matt could just do Learn to Plays, like he would. You got any more of them Learn to Plays?
And it's funny because I thought Learn to Plays were eventually going to peter out a bit.
No,
right? We'd have that initial surge, and it never happened. Right? Even with season 10, like I thought after a few months we would stop running part 1, 2, and 3, right? Because I would be like, all right, everybody has to have played these by now. But so many new people keep showing up every month that they keep selling out. I keep having to add more tables.
All right, this is where I want to tell the story of where Paige thought that too, right? So Paige Lightman organized D&D for Dragon Con for the longest, and I've been organizing it for MomoCon. These are both conventions down in Atlanta, and I've been running these Learn to Play back to back 2 hours, learn how to play, get a little intro in, get your thing going. So Paige is like, I'm gonna bring this Dragon Con. But Dragon Con is a little bit of a different beast. It's a huge multimedia fandom convention, and gaming is but a small piece of the pie. So Paige is like, we're going to have trouble getting people interested in this. She made a sandwich board advertisement and had someone walking around handing out golden tickets, which would get you into this Learn to Play free. We had people lined up around the thing, down the hall, outside, camping out, waiting to get into these Learn to Plays because we were doing them walk-up only generic tickets. And Paige afterwards kind of ate her sandwich board as she said she was wrong. And this is actually a story that we tell pretty frequently. So the appetite for new players to come back to play, Learn to Play over and over and over again is, astoundingly high. And the fact that we keep running our numbers up at this convention just kind of speaks to the level of quality that all of our DMs are bringing to the table. You're bringing that joy, you're bringing that fun. People want to come back, they want to see you, or they want to see your best friend DM, or, whoever it is. And some of us definitely have repeat players, and, that's a good sign, too. I know Graham consistently sells out his tables mostly to people he knows, which is great. Which really means we just need to get more Graham so that he can play more tables, right?
Cloning, right? I there's just so many rules against the cloning problem, but it would have fixed D&D's problems so much if we could just clone DMs, right?
Yeah.
But we're getting a ton in, right? We're getting like a dozen new DMs every month, right? And so we just need to keep that up and turn that into 3 dozen new DMs every month so that by the end of the year, we can keep up with all these new players.
Yep. And
wait until that movie comes out. There'll be so many new players. I'm old, right? I've gone through a lot of editions of D&D. I've gone through a lot of movies and cartoons. As much as I want to be excited, there's that little old dude in the back of my head that just keeps whispering, "Don't do it."
It's gonna be awful, but it's gonna be so awful it's good.
I can handle awful. I can handle awful is good, right? There's plenty of movies I'll sit down and watch and I know are awful, right? But they're just so awful, they're awesome, right? The original Highlander, right? I can watch that all the time, and it's cheesy and it's full of Queen music and you laugh. But right then there's Highlander 2, right? Which doesn't exist, right? We don't talk about it, right? So
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Exactly, right? There's so bad it's good, and then there's just bad, right? So
yeah.
I will settle for a good D&D movie or one that's so cheesy and cliche and hits all of the silly jokes that we love that it's bad and we still love it. I'll take either one of those.
I've seen the joke going around that Chris Pine took charisma as his dump stat, and I'm looking to see that in the movie.
Oh, the heart.
I love the idea somebody threw out there that one of the characters has to die and then they run into him again in the next scene playing somebody different, right? It's the same actor, but he has to be playing a different character. Either the character who died's brother or
you killed my father, prepare to die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
well, speaking of looking forward, the next show, in case anybody wasn't aware at this point, next virtual D&D weekend is going to be March 12th through 14th. We're going to have a bunch of Season 10 content. We're going to be running both epics. Krishna and I are prepared. We're ready. We're going to have the Twitch. We're going to have fun. It's going to be bananas.
It's time to go fishing.
It's
time to go fishing.
It's time to go to 10 Town. Let's go fishing and fighting some animals. We're going to have some Eberron content. We're going to have some Moonshade's content. We've got some Dungeon Craft stuff on the schedule. We've got some DDXP track experiences. We have other non-organized play content. So we have some people running their own adventures that they wrote that aren't Adventurers League. Like Brendan Lewis, and I forget the 2 authors of the others, even though I looked them up right before this. I'm sorry, you two. And it's just going to be a good time. So tell your friends to mark their calendars. Registration opens again March 2nd, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Candlekeep Mysteries, you're right.
Don't forget Candlekeep.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
I made a separate graphic for Candlekeep, so I keep forgetting to put them together. And
that's
Candlekeep.
Tuesday because there's only 28 days in February. It's Tuesday.
That is indeed Tuesday. It's not a Monday, at least, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why Dave will be up till 2 a.m. the next few days typing events in, because he forgets that February is a short month and thought he had more time than he did. So
yeah, and we're gonna have more Candlekeep than anybody knows what to do with, that are all gonna be very full tables. Yeah, I'm an oracle. I believe it. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, now's your time. Otherwise, we're really much looking forward to, having everyone back, to having everyone join us, to wrapping more people into the fold, into the family, and continuing on the fun. And next month, our special bit for this is going to be Eric. No, that's wrong. They're the month after. We're going to do a special show completely for Moonshay stuff. Next month, we're going to have the Brazilian contingent on.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to talk about D&D and Brazil and the amazing community that they have grown there, and how awesome it's been that they're running D&D in Portuguese for these Baldman Games events. So we're kind of expanding our reach, our offerings. It's
all the DMs belong to us, right?
Well, not really, but they're all welcome to.
That's right.
They are all welcome to. Yeah. So with that, then, I'm not seeing any questions. Nobody has any pertinent questions or impertinent.
I see a lot of stuff about cake, right? I have no cake, so I'm kind of
The cake is a
like,
lie.
I may have to take back some of those awards for people that have cake.
Yeah, running stuff in Spanish. So that's been a little bit of a struggle because of pricing, making it a value for them while still making it a value for the DM.
Yeah, that's the right, because if we're servicing a Spanish community that's Central America, South America, right, we can't charge normal prices, right? The conversion rates and the economies, right, it really just crushes it. But if we put it at the cheaper price, then a lot of Spanish speaking in America buy up all the tickets, and it doesn't really get the DM anything, right? So we're working on it. We'll come up with a way to overcome it.
Yeah. And as for the question about how awesome is Matt, submitted by Matt.
I think he's pretty awesome.
Hey, I'm wearing a button-up shirt right now, right? I cannot remember the last time I had a shirt on that had buttons, right? So that is how much you guys all mean to me. I didn't put pants on because you don't quite get to the point of, right, I got to keep the knees free, but I have a button-up shirt on for you.
Yeah, fortunately, I was gonna say this is a pants optional show, but that really conveys a different meaning.
Yes.
We're only here from the shoulders up, anyways. All right. John's gonna be insufferable until after the next event. It's been approved.
Yes.
So congratulations once again to everyone who got promoted, to everyone who received an award. I've got my notes down here to badger Dave to put that up on the Discord, and we'll get it up on the website as well. And as always, if you have any other suggestions, please feel free to let us know. We're going to be doing a lot of changes with all the committees, as Dave said, to make things brighter and shinier and prettier and more welcoming. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to, I don't know, everything, really. All of it.
Stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, with
16, how many shows this year? There's a lot to look forward to.
16 right now. Yeah. So
hey.
16, and we've only done 3.
Have I mentioned I have a kid going off to college, right? 16 might not be enough, right? There might need to be something added into that.
We gotta add in an extra show as a going away party for Dave's kid.
Sure.
It
drives my daughter nuts, right? That because she's very active in theater and musicals. So a lot of her friends, especially a lot of her guy friends, all play D&D, right? So they think I'm the coolest dude in the world, right? And that irritates my daughter to no end, and I love it. And I poke at it every time I get a chance to poke at it. I'm like, hey, your dad's pretty cool. You are not.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
like,
And Ted, you've hopped on just in time for the bullshitting segment.
Yes.
So perfect timing as always.
Oh yeah, you can talk to the committee members. I just saw that in there. Tell
Yeah.
us what's up.
Yeah, as Mitch says, tell us what's up. Tell us what you want. Tell us. We're not mind readers. We have not practiced divination magic. Even though we try, we're not good at it. So let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your opinions. Let us know what you want to see. If you want to run cool stuff, it doesn't have to be Adventurers League. Let Dave know what you want to run. If you want some help putting together some cool stuff so that you can run that, we've got people. I think we got people
for connections.
We got people for just about everything at this point. You got I don't know if I'm gonna say you got problems. We got people. Don't necessarily bring us all your problems, but we can solve most of them.
We'll talk about gaming problems.
Gaming. There we go. I'm not hating on diviners. I'm saying we as a group are not skilled diviners. I wish we were. Diviners are awesome. This is the problem. We're not.
If I was a diviner, I would have bought GameStop stock a month ago.
A little over a month ago, Dave. A little over a month ago.
A little over a month ago.
2 months would have been the perfect point. But yeah. Anyways, we could go on forever. As we've proven this many times, closing down the bar at night. But I'm sure all of you have somewhere else to be. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it for this month's edition of the Baldman HQ. See you all in 2 weeks for Virtual Weekend March. Good night, all.
See y'all.